Quote from the book on cost regression analysis. It uses a linear multivariate regression model and is based on statistically relevant technical parameters that have the biggest influence on the price. In addition to determining target prices, this method can be used to identify pricing inconsistencies. Most business school graduates know how to perform a cost regression analysis, so I will keep the explanation of the methodology rather short. Instead, I will focus on use cases and lessons learned. Also, I know that some of you are already diving down into the comment section to let me know that cost regression analysis is hardly new and has been around for 20 years or so. But this misses the point. What this video is about is discussing when to deploy a cost regression analysis or CRA and what are its benefits. Let's get started. The trigger is complexity. If you have just one or two parts to analyze, G1 cost-based price modeling is the right method. Then you unleash your cost engineers and have them calculate greenfield or brownfield prices. Armed with this information, you can have a super effective negotiation with a supplier. And maybe your cost engineers can handle 5 parts or 10 parts. But what if you have dozens or hundreds of parts? At some number of parts, cost engineering will have to give in. And this is where CRA will shine. The more parts from different suppliers you have within one technology, the better. You simply collect the data describing the parts. I use air quotes because while the data should be in the system, it may require some effort to extract what is needed to clearly describe the parts from drawings and specifications. And it gets easier over time. In order to build the regression model, you will need to go in broad, providing all available data for the model. But once you have fed a representative sample of parts into the model, it will tell you which parameters actually drive cost and which ones don't. Going forward, you can then focus on just collecting data for the parameters that actually matter. We have often seen a 20:4 ratio. So if a part was described with 20 parameters in the drawings and specifications, typically just 4 of these really drive the cost. Building a multivariate regression analysis should not be a big deal for people who are good in math. If what you're looking at right now feels alien to you, get help from a business school graduate. Should it look familiar, you are safe to proceed on your own. Once you have built a model, you will need to ensure that it is good. Key will be the R-squared that tells you to what extent the model explains the relationship between the parameters and the price. Correlations will tell you to what extent the parameters depend on each other. And the p-values help you check the consistency of each parameter's influence on the price. What you do get out of the model after feeding it with parameters is a scatter diagram with the current price on the y-axis and the price of the regression function on the x-axis. Next, you get a regression line. That is the line that fits best into the scatter of data points. But this is just the average, and you shouldn't base your savings demand on average. What you want in order to get good savings performance is to establish a target price line that represents the 40% of data points with the best price performance ratio. Now we determine the savings asked to a supplier. For a given data point, the savings asked is the vertical distance to the target price line. And very often suppliers will provide more than just one data point or one part. What is useful is to highlight the supplier's data points in the scatter diagram. This goes way beyond just making your negotiation easier. Mature and educated suppliers will appreciate the feedback. For the supplier, understanding where they stand relative to competition is a valuable information. Also, suppliers will not be surprised to be confronted with pricing inconsistencies. After all, every offer they made in the past had a specific genesis and different people may have been involved. But there's more. There are smart ways of leveraging cost regression analysis in engineering and product development. While procurement typically uses CRA to reduce cost of current products, Engineering and product development are mostly looking beyond current generation into new products. And here I have to give credit to Ramon, who introduced me to the smart application some 15 years ago. Let me show you some of these. One of the challenges in new products is determining target prices. And this is, by the way, what we are cleaning up with CRA in procurement. So while we may find a wild scatter of data points in the current generation, a new generation can start with a far more rational way, with a strong alignment of the data points to the target price line. CRA can also be used for variant reduction, for simplifying specs, and for identifying future technologies. So there you have it, multivariate cost regression analysis, a purchasing chessboard method that works best if you have many different parts. It thrives on complexity. Okay, now it is your turn. In your company, is CRA something that was applied 10 or 15 years ago and has been forgotten in the meantime? And if so, would it make sense to reintroduce it? Should you have any question, let me know in the comments down below and I will get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you for watching and I see you in the next one. Bye!